David Clark, Homers Radio Network here at Rash Stadium with Kishawn Walker, former Red Devil superstar who took your talents to Georgetown, showed out at the NAIA level. I believe you were all conference and on some list for an honorable mention All-American type deal, and then you decided to transfer to WKU. How did that come about? And just kind of tell everybody what's going on with Kishawn Walker.
Whenever I was at Georgetown, I was like basically using it as like a JUCO without going the JUCO route. I went there for 2 years. Was trying to get my stats up just so I could like prove I could play D1, go higher than the level I was at, because I felt I was overlooked in high school. But I'm at Western right now.
Yeah, I mean, and that happens a lot. You know,
Yeah.
You see guys, and you look no further than the NFL draft. Every single year, you get a lot of guys that are drafted that were either from smaller colleges. You look at Carson Wentz that went to North Dakota State, obviously a 1AA powerhouse, but still a smaller division college nonetheless. Get a lot of guys that weren't ranked by recruiting services that wind up getting drafted in the NFL, and I think that's what people out there don't realize, that if you do happen to get overlooked, there's still a path for kids.
Yeah. It's just trust whatever path you take. Just trust that, because your path is always different than somebody else's.
And now you look no further than right down the street here. Keelan Cole went to
Yeah.
Kentucky Wesleyan
Yeah.
College, and he's one of the best receivers in the NFL right now. So
Exactly.
it's great to see that this area is starting to produce that. You know, obviously has produced over the years D1 talent, and then obviously NFL guys. Obviously great career at Georgetown. Obviously freshman year didn't play much, and then by the time your sophomore year rolls around, you get into the game, you're getting interceptions, you're getting big plays, you're all over their Twitter. Talk about your time as a Georgetown Tiger.
It was great. They taught me a lot of self-discipline. My mental toughness, that's really what they was instilling in us, and it really got us all like really good. It got us all together, and we was like a family. That's why our defense was ranked so high. But I mean, stuff happens, and our quarterback went down. That's really what happened.
Oh man, that'll kill a lot of teams.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a team anywhere from Pop Warner all the way to the NFL. If you lose your starting quarterback, it's going to be detrimental to the team.
We lost our second string quarterback too.
That makes it even harder. That makes it even harder. My goodness. But obviously Georgetown, a national power in NAIA, high level NAIA football. I don't think people realize that when you get schools like Lindsey Wilson and Georgetown, obviously shout out to our guys at Lindsey Wilson, that's pretty high level football. That's basically like playing at Murray State or playing at EKU.
Yeah, for sure. We was ranked top 5 in the nation. Lindsey was like ranked second in the nation at one point in last year.
And y'all had a big showdown, isn't that right? Where you guys played against TJ James and Vasad and Arias Phillips, Arion playing right now. I decided, like you said, you wanted to get to a higher level. You were able to achieve that with the success you had at Georgetown, and you parlayed that into WKU. How did you find out that WKU was even interested?
I just had some people that like I know, they just know some of the coaches on the team and just connected me with them. After the season was over, I got my my release paper, and then they talked to the coach, the defensive coordinator for me, and then he got in contact with me, told me he liked my film, and he can't wait for me to come in the spring.
Absolutely, and you did come in the spring. You look at WKU's Twitter feed, and all of a sudden you're on there in the spring practice, and obviously you got to participate in the Hilltopper Red-White game. How was that? I mean, first Division I experience for you.
Yeah, really, it was my first spring game at Georgetown. I didn't even get to play in the spring game. I tore my rotator cuff a couple weeks before our spring game, so it was a good experience. Though a lot of people was there, it was more people than Georgetown, but I gotta get used to that though.
Sure, absolutely. Crowd's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
The support's bigger. Conference USA is a big deal in terms of football. It's kind of becoming a Red Devil family at WKU. You got yourself there. You got Nick Locker there. I believe Kaminsky is a manager there, or one of those.
Matt Bartimus.
Yes, Matt Bartimus. Yes, thank you. And it's kind of crazy. All of a sudden, Bowling Green, obviously, right down the road. Usually, when we say Bowling Green on the Homers Radio Network, we kind of cringe a little bit because we think of the purples, but there is some good in Bowling Green. That's the WKU Hilltoppers, and that Owensboro connection to this high school, to WKU, starting to grow by leaps and bounds. You see that maybe possibly getting bigger in the future?
Yeah.
Not giving away. We can't mention any
Yeah.
names or anything like that. It's against NCAA guidelines. But could you see that? Could you see that possibly getting bigger in the future?
Yeah, I do for sure. There's a lot of guys on our OHS team right now that I can see playing for us right now.
No doubt about it. I believe they have a prospect camp coming up over the next couple of weeks, and I'm sure the coaches down there will get a look at some of the talent here at Owensboro High School. And then I think, you know, we talked about this off the air. I believe, are you ineligible to play this season?
Yeah, I got a red shirt since I transferred. I got a red shirt next year.
Okay, so, you know, you're going to redshirt this year. Obviously, spring ball was successful. What are you going to do between now and then obviously next spring to make your mark down there?
Right now I just gotta focus on my grades. That's first thing. It can't even do nothing without the grades. So
Absolutely.
So work on my grades, make sure they high as possible, and then just stay in film. Film study is key.
Yeah, tell the kids out there that's watching this right now. We've had Justin Rowland from the Rivals Network, the guy that ranks everybody 2, 3, and 4, 5 star. He's one of those guys, and he absolutely laid it down. And he says you have to have the grades. Tell these kids out here about what it's like if you don't have the grades.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people out here that's the same as you, better than you, or not even better than you, but grades matter. Like they care about that. It comes down to like they want the highest team GPA as possible. So if you 5-star talent with 1.0 GPA, they can't do nothing with you. There's a lot of 5-star talents with 4.0 GPAs. So
yeah, and like you said, there's so much talent. It's so competitive. I know that the term dime a dozen is always used. I don't like that because everybody's individual and they're important, and we want to see everybody be successful. But grades is a big part of that because if you're, like you said, if you're a big talent, you don't got the grades, they're going to send you packing, bottom line.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously you got this red shirt season coming up. What did you take away in terms of when, spring ball, you went through it, you played in the game. Obviously, you don't know for sure where you are on the depth chart per se, but from your perspective, where does Kishawn Walker feel like he's at in terms of notching up to the top there?
I feel like I can compete with any of them. Like, I mean, that's just how I am, though. That's how you should be as a football player, a competitor in any sport. So, I mean, I just feel like I can compete with anybody on any level.
Well, Kishawn, man, we appreciate you taking the time. We're definitely going to be following your career, especially starting next spring here on the Homers Radio Network. Another Division I Red Devil here out there competing on the college circuit. Kishawn, man, congratulations and best of luck for you.
Thank you.
And if you like this content, as I say at the end of every video, be sure to click the subscribe button as we're adding new content to our Homers Radio Network YouTube channel all the time.